number 2, 2025 of the Dugout. And got a couple announcements we got from feedback from our last statement, and want to share that news with you. So, here coming in the Williamsport area are some events you might want to highlight in your calendar to participate. The Sweet Nurse Bakery on October 3rd, they're going to have dessert and decor night. You don't want to miss that because remember, Devin, the baker there, just released the CNO Crown Jewel with that awesome cherry cheesecake. And this particular event, dessert and decor night on the 3rd, is a ticket event with Fairfield Creation. So make sure you look for that to get your tickets for that. Also, October 4th is the Harvest Hoedown in here in Williamsport down at the Byron Memorial Park. You're not going to want to miss that. And then one last thing, I do want to welcome a new business down on Potomac Street, State Farm, Amanda Kaplan. If you have insurance needs or seeking a new insurance agent, let Amanda be your girl. She has done a fantastic job becoming a part of the Williamsport revitalization, fixing up 2 buildings there on Potomac Street. So make sure you look out for her. And also, I want to take a few minutes, introduce you to Kevin Young, who I have with me here today. And Kevin is with River Spirit Media. And I'm excited to share with you, whether you're individual having a need for digital media, marketing, or businesses as well. You know, he's right here in town, and I want you to hear what he has to offer. And I think you're going to be amazed because sometimes you don't know these things. And we got a little speaker right here in Williamsport that can help you out. So, Kevin, welcome. And yeah, so if you don't mind, let me know and share with everybody what exactly is River Spirit Media and what brought you to the picture to bring this type of business to Williamsport?
Yeah, so my name's Kevin. We do anything from video, websites. We're heavy in AI now. So anything to do with marketing, especially, we have tools and we have systems and processes in place and training for anybody from do-it-yourselfers to people who want stuff done for themselves. So, uh, especially budgets from like $100 and up, really. So we're budget friendly with that, in position to like grow with a business from start to whenever they scale. And the reason we chose Williamsport, one is the location. It's really close to a lot of the bigger cities in the area, like Martinsburg, Hagerstown. Um, I live in Hancock, so it's not a far drive. Frederick. Uh, Another thing we like is the canals right here. So we'll take a break from our screen and go for a lap around the Canal, see the turtles, herons. Um, so that's a nice way to break up the monotony. Also, we like a lot of the businesses in the area, so we spend money here frequently. For example, we've been to Sweet Notes. You mentioned the cheesecake. We haven't tried the cheesecake yet, or that particular one, so look forward to trying that. Ruth's, we go to Ruth's all the time. The diner opened up. We've probably been there 3 or 4 times.
That's great.
I love breakfast, so
That's awesome. And I appreciate that you enjoy the canal because so many people come to our area for the canal, for leisure walks. Sometimes it's just a great place to go to meditate. You
yeah.
mentioned take a break.
Mhm.
And you know the name River Spirit Media, is that how you came up with that a little bit?
Well, so I'm always learning and educating myself. And there's a saying, where attention goes, money flows.
Oh, I
And
like
so
that.
there's like I don't know if you're familiar with maritime law or any of that, but like river banks control the currency and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a play on that, but marketing side. So
That's
yeah.
really cool. I like that. That's creative. way of eye catching. I like
Hmm.
that. So interesting. So you talked about different types of marketing.
Hmm.
So I'm an entrepreneur myself, and we have a lot of small businesses opening
Hmm.
up. And I noticed one of the things with small businesses or anybody starting out on a type of business is the budget problem.
Hmm.
You got to get your inventory, take care of it, but you're trying to keep your overhead down. So marketing is important, but how do we control that and still
Yeah.
get that out? So what would you suggest are good marketing tips?
Um, well, I know your time is valuable. So,
Yeah.
uh, social media can be a hamster wheel. Once you never get off of it, so we have systems and processes in place, tools that help with that. Um, so what we tell people to do isn't different from what we do for clients. So sometimes you don't have the money, but you do have the time. So no one's going to care about your marketing more than you yourself. So you really should be involved in your own marketing. You should be careful. Sometimes there's some bad players when it comes to agencies. So I would definitely say focus on maintaining ownership of your digital properties is key. Because sometimes it's hell getting your property back. So that's a nightmare I've
Absolutely.
seen. Um,
Absolutely. And you hit on a good point. And I've seen some businesses make the early mistake of leasing their domain and all that to
mhm.
save money. But that can be an issue down the road. You
Yeah,
need to own your domain. So that's great
yeah,
advice. I'm glad you said that because
mhm,
that's something that people don't
yeah.
realize.
A lot of people don't realize, you know, digital property is just like physical property. So you got to develop it. Location matters. You can resell it eventually. It's worth money. People don't realize that. So, like, why is Facebook worth so much, valued so high? Because of their list. Their list is huge. So
Correct.
businesses should approach their digital property just like that. Build your list up, and your website, stuff like that. It's valuable.
It is. And I think in today's realm with businesses or any type, it doesn't have to be business. Even if you're just a nonprofit
Hmm.
or you're trying to target an audience, you need to learn how to link and
Hmm.
intertwine. Because I
Yeah.
see so many great ideas out there, but,
Hmm.
but it comes to a dead end.
Hmm.
And people don't realize that. And
Hmm.
they're spending money
Yeah.
on something that's not working,
Yeah.
and then they get frustrated and
Hmm.
quit. And you
Yeah.
can't quit on marketing, am I
Yeah.
right? It's you got to
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
continuous. Yeah.
So some things take time, especially if you're doing like search engine optimization. Uh, some things are easier to rank for than others, depending on the competition level. So if you're like in the attorney space, medical space, those types of industries, there's bigger budgets that you're battling. So it might be harder to rank. So it might be easier to pivot your strategy to something like social media or whatever, but you shouldn't give up. You should keep pushing and maybe try different things. And then what works, you shut off what isn't working and put everything into what is working. So,
Right, right. You made a good point, and that's how you save money there. Not, but at the same time, you want all your eggs in one basket
right.
either, too.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I think digital media helps with that.
Yeah.
You have your website,
Hmm.
but you want to make sure your website has action to it.
Hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
just sitting there.
Hmm.
So that's where your social media
Hmm.
campaigns come together. But I think for entrepreneurs, and I know I had this feeling when I was
Hmm.
few years ago when I was trying to get things rolled out. I get so overwhelmed. I can't
Yeah.
keep up with Facebook, can't
Right.
keep up with Instagram, now TikTok. It's
Yeah.
like I need someone to manage all this.
Yeah.
So tell people how you would handle that, so you're not so stressed trying to
Right.
keep up with all that.
Well, I guess the best way would talk about how I got into this
Okay,
because a
cool.
lot of what you just said I've went through myself. So before I got into marketing, I was a diesel mechanic, and I had went out on a road call one time on the side of 81. A truck driver called the company I worked for. I answered the phone. I did the diagnostics. I ordered the part, ran and got the part, ran and installed. I saved him a tow. So tow bills are pretty expensive. So what I did was I replaced the turbo on the side of the interstate. The bill was like $5,000 or $6,000,
Whew.
and yeah, and my cut for the day was $150, and I think it's natural when the company isn't paying you insurance and things like that to have the thought of how could that call have been mine? Because I handled the whole thing start to finish.
Right.
So I started thinking like, okay, how do I get my phone to ring? So I got a truck. Already had the tools. And so I started researching how to get my phone to ring, and that led me to Google rankings and how to rank on Google. And that led me to creating my own website. And I realized it was a lot of work. I was spending probably 13 hours a day when I finally decided to start my own business, learning marketing, ranking on Google, and all those things. And then what happened was I tried to reach out to an agency to see how much it would cost. So without doing websites, video, or any of that stuff, just to do SEO, it was like $500 a month, which I learned now isn't much at all. But my wife
Right.
was like, no, that's way too much. So I had no choice but to learn. But when I quit my job to start, like a month later, my wife says, I'm pregnant. So,
You know, oh, well, bless you for that. It's
uh,
always comes at the wrong time, but it
yeah.
always works out for the
Yeah,
best. That's
it's
great.
actually a blessing because it lit a fire under me. And
Yeah.
so I devoted the next 9 months into making sure that I knew what I was doing and getting the phone ring. And it worked. So I started thinking about my marketing through my target audience's eyes. So in that moment, my target audience was truck drivers and trucking companies. So I was like, okay, how would they use Google to find my services? And how do I get in front of those searches?
Hmm.
So they would search truck repair near me or road service near me. So I started optimizing my website for those searches, and I started getting more calls because of it. I did a blog one time, just a crappy little blog post about one of my previous calls. Someone found that and called me and said, "Hey, I read your article, and I was wondering if you could come out and work on my truck." And so that one blog post led to an $800 service call, and I was just like mind blown. So owner operators, they were having a rough time, and they still kind of are. I mean, I don't think it ever changes. So I would feel bad and always try to cut them a deal, right? Because they would ask for it. They would ask for discounts. So I knew I needed reviews. So I said, look, I'll give you a discount. You leave me a 5-star review. And I started getting really good reviews because of that. And through all of that process, you know, I was really looking to make more per road call. And I knew the companies
Hmm.
just wanted their driver moving. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I know this is kind of dragging out, but the point is, I knew I needed the companies to call me because
Yeah, you got to get the phone to ring.
they would just write the check,
Right.
right? So they wouldn't even look at the bill. They just wanted their guy moving again. So I started changing how do those people use Google to find the road calls. And because they're not in Hagerstown, say, they wouldn't search road service near me. They would search road service Hagerstown, Maryland.
Hmm.
And then I started looking at where does my target audience congregate? And so the truckers that were broke down, they're going to be in way stations, truck stops,
Yeah.
those areas. So I started putting the little hints on my website relating to those locations. I started getting those calls. But what sucks was I had an injury that didn't heal right. I had a fractured vertebrae. I didn't go to the doctor for,
Ugh.
and I didn't really. It wasn't terrible, but what happens is bone heals extra thick, and so it actually puts extra pressure on my sciatic nerve. So my legs started going numb on road calls. Went to the doctor because I didn't know what was going on. Got an MRI, and turns out that was the issue, and they recommended me changing my career if
And
I
yet you
wanted
have
to.
a baby on the way.
Yes. And so the next skill that I had was marketing. So that's why I chose to do what I do. I've helped some people out, and people just said, you know what, you need to start a business doing this, and that's what we did.
Well, Kevin, I appreciate you sharing the story because, I'm always inspired and amazed because there's a lot of people out there that end up changing their careers or go to get training and then their
Hmm.
career path changes and you have to figure it out. But I got to tell you, I appreciate that. And I know you, everybody falls and picks themselves back
Hmm.
up and keep going. And it always works out for the
Yeah.
better
Hmm.
as you grow. And, I know you've got some experience under your belt with marketing.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I'm really proud of you for going out on your own
Yeah.
as a business owner. Because I can tell you from experience, that's not easy. That's a
Hmm.
great accomplishment. I
Yeah.
know business owners out there can relate to that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you sharing that.
Hmm.
And so, what are some of the greatest things that you've done, whether it's with a certain industry or anything like that? The good parts of what you do in your
Yeah.
industry. Share that with us. And
Um,
yeah.
so first, you got to get a good foundation under you. So usually that starts with a website. It
Yeah.
starts with a Google business profile, and it also starts with claiming all your digital properties. So that might be your social media accounts. You got to get all that squared away. Of course, you got to get your branding established. So your fonts, your colors, your logos, all that, right? And then traffic. You got to get traffic. So there's a few ways you can do that. You can do organic content, SEO. SEO just to this is search engine optimization, but really to make it simple, it's collaboration. So
Yeah.
like you want to collaborate
Yeah.
with local businesses that are just like you, get links back to each other's sites. So we really help with that type of stuff and some good results, right? I guess that would answer your question.
Right.
The results that we look for are calls, right? So, like if you're a home service based business, you want calls. You don't care about how many impressions you got, how many clicks you got, how many views, how many followers. What you care about at the end of the day is how much business did my marketing generate? And so that's kind of how we look at it. We like to look at last year's numbers compared to current year numbers. And so, some good examples would be we have a particular client who we reduced their marketing budget by 40%, and they're some months they're getting 40% more calls or 70% more calls. It's pretty crazy. And another thing would be um, better advertising. So like Facebook and Google ads, we do a really good job on. So one client we have, they're getting over 300 phone calls consistently a month. And we also have some clients who their previous Facebook ads were targeting to buy my stuff, right? Because that's what you want. You want business. But
Right.
sometimes you need to focus on not asking for purchases and instead just focus on brand awareness first. So like get the views, get you want to get seen first and then retarget after. So that's where the magic
I did you all hear that? That was perfectly said. I couldn't agree more. He said that's where the magic happens. You know, I think people, get so absorbed in your own business, and that's great. That you have the passion, but you have to balance that
happens.
because I think when you get to the point where you're desperate or pushing or begging, it kind of turns
Yeah.
people off. So I
Hmm.
like how you said that. You might be feeling that,
Right.
but take that energy and turn it
Yes.
to something else
Yes.
to keep the traction.
Hmm.
And I think that's a very important. I'm glad you touched on that
Hmm.
because that's you got to keep the everybody in a happy medium, not
Yeah.
feeling like they're pressured.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They can
Okay.
sense it, and you really want to make sure that you take a deep breath. You know, don't give up. You might have to pivot. You might have to collaborate, but don't
We
let.
pivot all the time. I mean, that's the way of life as an entrepreneur. And but no, that's a good point. So interesting results. Making the phone ring.
Mhm.
When the phone rings, you turn that into a sale.
Right.
I see people, they have some of the greatest ads and all. They might have some clicks and all, but if those clicks aren't converting into the business, something's wrong. There's a disconnect.
Hmm.
Would you agree to that?
Yeah. So uh, a good term that's used in marketing would be conversion optimization.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to look at what type of traffic you're getting. Is it tire kickers? And so that's where like keyword research comes into play. So like you want to optimize for the transactional content or the transactional keywords. So that's where like the road repair near me is like a,
Yeah, yeah,
so you really want to get that type of traffic. But there's also educational keywords. That's like a long game. And so that's where SEO can take a while because you want to increase your domain's authority in Google's eyes. So sometimes you got to demonstrate your experience, your expertise, your authority, and your trustworthiness. And so it really is like a, a strategy that needs to be implemented and not just like a spray and pray.
right. Good. So I'm sure when you're working with clients, because there's different industries
Mhm.
and every client has a different personality also. So what are some of the unique, funny, or sometimes bad things that have happened,
Yeah,
but you've had to turn it around because it does. It falls
yeah,
on you to help them turn that around.
yeah.
It's like damage control.
Mhm. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't all go well, right? That's business. One thing we've learned is the algorithms are always changing.
Oh
And
yeah.
so it's even more important in those scenarios to own your digital presence. So you really want to build your email list up because things like an algorithm change can erase you off the map. So one example of that would be Google came out with an update that dinged content generated by AI. So everybody's using ChatGPT,
Oh yeah.
and we had a particular client who had a bunch of blogs that was created with ChatGPT, and what we found was the traffic tanked. It just plummeted after this update. In some industries, like finance or medical related health and wellness, have higher standards in Google's eyes. So it's harder to get that recovery back. But this particular client, we had to go and pretty much completely redo the website, completely over. So there's like over 50 pages that needed rewritten. Um, and it led us to invest in technology to determine if content is generated by AI and also invest in technology to pass those tests.
Oh
So
yeah.
we can write content with AI and pass the test. So we were able to make a full recovery for that client.
Well, that's fantastic because that could have been the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's your livelihood.
And you know what? You brought up AI, and a lot of people are looking at AI as,
Mhm.
ooh, I don't know, it's cool, but it can be dangerous.
Yeah,
And but I've also seen how AI really can help the small business owner because
yeah,
I don't have 15 people working
yeah.
for me. But how would you recommend AI and be doing it the correct way?
Well, one would be establishing a tone and a style for the AI. So you really want to kind of have a tone and style for your business, and AI should know that when it's creating that content. But when you're submitting your business info, you want to make sure that you're not training future models of whatever AI tool you're using because that could be sensitive information. So there's certain settings on some of these tools that pretty much it's kind of like when you're opting in for an email newsletter or something, you can check yes or no. And if you don't check that box, they can't market to you. Well, it's just like that with the AI. You can check that box or not, and it won't or will use your information to train future models. Then from there, you really want to use it with certain tools to scale your content and get off that hamster wheel we talked about. So we have one particular client who created 40 Facebook reels in a matter of like a couple sessions with us, and it was her first time ever leveraging AI, Canva, and our tools. So she can post do one post, and it goes out to all of her social platforms at once. And then we scaled those individual posts. So it was like 10 posts to 4 different platforms. That's 40 reels in a couple sessions.
That is right there. That's working smart. And that saves your overhead when you're one or two people running a business. And if you're a person that's kind of scared or just doesn't, you just don't know much about AI, and I don't expect anybody to, because you're not in the tech field. I'm not. This is where you find someone like Kevin to help you with that. You'd be surprised. You said one of your clients did 40 reels.
Yeah. So we actually did, with our process, we took 40 image posts or
Okay.
30 image posts, because certain platforms you have to have a video, like YouTube, you have to have a video.
Right.
You can do like your private posts inside of YouTube, but when it comes to like shorts and video and longs, they call them, you need video. So we took 30 image posts and pretty much just turned them into videos, and then boom. So that process satisfies the algorithm, and the consistency. You got to establish consistency first, and that will free her up to focus on better, high quality content. And another thing about AI, I gotta find my phone real quick. Right here it is. So I have some other capabilities when it comes to AI that most people maybe they're learning but aren't quite aware of. You can have AI answer the phone nowadays and book appointments. So we kind of have like a demo set up to where you could call this number and pretend that you need marketing help, but we could tailor this to home service businesses like plumbers, roofers, landscapers, you name it. So imagine you're a mechanic and you're under a car and it's just you. You're a solopreneur. Maybe you don't want to scale, maybe you do, but you're waiting till you build your business up. Well, if you're under a car and you got oil all over your hands and stuff, and the phone rings and you don't get to it in time, they're probably going to go with the next business.
Correct.
So, and that's what I found with the diesel mechanic stuff. So we don't want to replace humans necessarily with AI. We want to enhance humans with AI. So just to clarify, we don't uh, like doing AI generated video. We like creating video like this kind of, and then leveraging AI to get that out faster and make it neater, more organized. But one of the things that help is if you can't answer the phone, like we talked about, you can have it before it hits voicemail. AI answer the phone. You can have it reply to like a support chat on your website and get contact info that way if it's after hours. So we actually have a phone number you can call if you want to test it out on speaker for
Sure.
everybody. I don't know if you got your phone on
I
there.
do. Let's check this AI out. And I like what he said. We're not replacing people here. We're important.
Yeah.
So we just need to balance
Yeah.
AI the right way, right?
I think what's
Yeah.
crazy is you're going to have human interaction even more important than ever. People are going to make decisions unless they know they see a human. So
Yeah. So what was that number?
the number is going to be 240 730 3340.
Okay. We'll call it. We're
Okay.
gonna check
And you
this
put
out.
it on speaker.
We'll put it on speaker.
Yeah, put it on speaker. Just pretend you need marketing help.
This call will be recorded for quality and training purposes.
Okay.
Thank you for calling River Spirit Media. This is Misty. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Selena. I'm calling to find out about some marketing help.
This would be something for our strategist. Hold just a sec while I transfer you over.
This is Mark with River Spirit Media. Thanks for holding. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Glad to hear that. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm calling to talk with somebody to help with some marketing needs that I have.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. All right, marketing needs. Got it. Let's dive in and see how we can help. First, can I grab your full name? I'll confirm the spelling to make sure I've got it right.
Sure. My name is Selena Wilkes.
Thanks, Selena. Just to confirm, that's SELENA WILKES, right?
Absolutely. That doesn't happen too often. Spell my name right.
Glad I got it right. Now, Selena, could you share your email address so we can send over any details or confirmations?
Sure. Selena Wilkes at port44.com.
Thanks. Just to confirm, that's SELENA WILKES at PORT44.com, correct?
That's got it.
Perfect. Now, Selena, could you tell me a bit more about your marketing needs? What are you looking to focus on?
I say I'm looking for help with some videos and social media content.
Got it. Videos and social media content. That's definitely something we can help with. What's the name of your business?
Port 44?
Thanks. So, the business name is 444, correct?
Port 44.
Got it. Port 44. Thanks for clarifying. What's the website URL for your business?
Port44.com.
Perfect. So that's PORT 44.com, right?
That is correct.
Great. What have you done so far to market Port 44? Are you currently using any strategies like SEO, social media management, video production, or ads?
Yes, but I need help.
Totally understand. Marketing can be a lot to juggle. Are you the decision maker for Port 44's marketing? Or is
I
there
am.
someone else involved?
No, I am.
Got it. So you're the decision maker. One last question. Do you have a budget in mind for your marketing efforts? This helps us tailor the best solutions for you.
I need this to be the most affordable as possible.
Understood. Keeping it affordable is key. Sounds like we can definitely help. Let's get you booked for a free strategy session with one of our strategists to dive deeper into your needs and explore options. Let me check our availability real quick. One moment. It looks like I don't have any available slots showing right now. Would you prefer I have someone follow up with you via email to coordinate a time?
Please, I'd like someone to follow up with me as soon as possible. That would be terrific.
Got it, Selena. I'll make sure someone from our team reaches out to you as soon as possible to coordinate a time. Thanks so much for sharing all the details.
Thank
Is there
you.
anything else I can assist you with today?
No, that's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Selena. Thanks for reaching out, and we'll be in touch soon. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. That was impressive.
It'll book the appointment. We just don't have a calendar connected because we don't want people booking appointments, especially if they hear this. If they test the phone number, they just heard the phone number. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then it'll send an email verification to both parties, let us know. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So that was a great example of how using AI correctly can be a great tool. That was cool. Now I will tell you, to be honest, I would like that to go a little faster.
Yeah,
but I get it. I get it.
Well, and if you break that down, right, it's if someone called and said, "I want to speak to Kevin,"
yeah,
it'll ring my phone.
Oh,
Like if you're
okay.
frustrated, if you're a customer or something like that, and you don't want to deal with that, you're also going to have my personal number, so you
True.
won't have
True.
that. But what's cool is it started qualifying you. So imagine you're calling for plumbing service or something. The plumbing company needs to know what's wrong. You
Well,
know?
it's kind of like, you're right. It kind of acted like a gatekeeper in its own.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Well, I tell you, I guess that's one of the big reasons why people should contact River Spirit Media, right? What are some other reasons?
So we're local. We might bump into you at the grocery store or something. I might be with my wife and my son. I want that to be a good thing. I don't want to have to hide. What did I see you? I do care about the local area. And with us, you own your property. You don't have to worry about having ownership. It's yours. And we grow with you. So if you're in a DIY situation, we have DIY friendly strategies that we can implement. And then if you're the type of person who you already know you're busy and you're looking to save time, you're not looking for more leads yet. In order for you to handle more leads, you need to save time somewhere. And so right there would be a good example. So that's a couple reasons there. I could probably name off a bunch of others, but we're just trying to build a family business essentially. So, and we know what it's like.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I got to tell you, if you want to learn more about quality social media, digital media content, videos, AI, anything in that realm that can help you as an individual, your organization, branding, or your business in general, right here in Williamsport on Salisbury Street is River Spirit Media. Kevin, I want to thank you for your generous time and wealth of knowledge. I enjoyed it, and I even learned something here today. In the meantime, for those wondering, it's riverspiritmedia.com. Email them at riverspiritmedia@gmail.com. And we're going to wrap today's session with thank you for watching The Dugout, volume number 2, brought to you by Port 44 and River Spirit Media. See you next time for volume 3. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody as well. We're working on video production, so anybody that's watching, appreciate the support. It's only going to get better from here. And anybody that does want to work with us, we have a list of references as well, real businesses that you can speak to. So you can see how the results have been with them. So anyway, thank you, folks.
Thank you. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.